much do they commit to research? How much? But the research is the base, the major backbone of any economic development. We need to really consciously make investment in research. And how can you research when your universities are not in good shape, are not well funded? You know, your research institutes are not well funded to begin to produce ideas. There has to be a linkage, between the government, the university, or the university, or the knowledge institutions, and the industry, so that once the knowledge institutions produce an idea, the businesses will take it up and even produce the manpower to feed the industries. But there's a disconnect. You know, the government is doing their own thing. The knowledge institutions like universities and schooling and all that, they're doing their own different thing. And the businesses are looking for ideas, they're looking for, that's what innovation is all about. You know,
some other perspective that I got while speaking with some professionals in this agricultural sector, they actually think that, yes, the government, much as they say they're doing something, but they could do a lot better than what they're doing now.
That's right.
Take, for instance, transportation. Now, we also found out that the cost of transporting goods, in some cases, it's actually equal or even a little more than the cost of the items.
That's right.
Now, this is something that they have to address.
That's right. Now, because one is that it's a holistic view. We have to look at it that way. Now, the roads leading to the farms, what are the conditions of the roads? Before you transport things from the farm to the city, bad roads, those things are either destroyed or they're no longer the same value as. Now, and also it takes time for perishable goods, for instance. It takes longer time to move. Now, the major means of transportation is by road here.
No, we need the rail.
We need the rail.
For cargoes.
We need the rail to move things. I remember some years ago, that a senior colleague of mine said that there was a company that wanted to build a rail from Lagos to Calabar that will only take 3 or 4 hours. Imagine what we do, how our roads will be able to, the traffic on the roads, the accident will be reduced. The road can last longer, but every truck, everybody heads to the road.
Isn't that thinking already in that direction as well? Because I haven't had cause to travel by rail, but we have been told that some parts of the rail system are being strategically rehabilitated. So you have that the rail is actually coming back, and they haven't been in use for
coming back. We've been hearing that for so long. And the same.
No, when I mean coming back, I mean they're already in use. I mean, even recently, just this Christmas, we saw people doing, the state government, I think, was doing free transport for some of the citizens by rail from Lagos to Osogbo, I think. So we're saying that portions of the rail are already being rehabilitated. We understand that is the Lagos Kaduna.
Those
it's also been done as well.
But the point is that, are we thinking of making new tracks? Those places that are not linked by rail, are we talking about it? Is the state, forget this federal. What about the states? There should be a rail ring around Lagos, for instance, to ease transportation.
I think they're talking about this light rail system.
Yeah, the light rail. Now, what about the gauge, the speed? The modern rail, I think a 1 or 1.5. The 2 gauge rail system helps the rail, if I'm correct, to be faster. And there was something that was doing. One of my students lives in Ota. What he does is he drops his car there, joins rail early in the morning, and comes. But he said that there were some places that were really well furnished. They can serve you breakfast and all that, but you pay for it. While others are hanging like monkeys
within the same.
But if people, he works in VI and a top executive and all that. They're driving from Ota to VI. It was giving him this in bed. They did it for 1 month or 2, and the whole thing collapsed.
Wow.
Services.
What was the reason? How did it collapse?
Services. They could not sustain this service. because one it's a whole lot of mess. Because one, there's no, you have to have the oomph to be able to sustain something, to begin to, once you start, you train people about services, attitude. Okay. So this minimalism, manage now, manage.
But the cost of doing business affects some of these things too.
Yes, the cost of doing business affects, but not in the real this thing. What will it take to turn the real around? Even encourage states. Everything is vertical. So the federal government has become.
there's states that are building monorails. They've been talking about it for some. Lagos State is building a monorail.
It's politics.
Port Harcourt.
Port Harcourt is also.
Abuja is also trying to do something.
It's politics. Remove politics, none of this, so that all the states can link up.
Via rail. What about the waterways?
Oh boy, it's another great opportunity that we are missing. In fact, the waterways we are not even using. Look at from Badagry to CMS. We had a retreat for Nemasa a couple of years ago, and the DG took the boat from Lagos to Badagry, and he got there before us. Some of us that drove by road, because it helps. It will. All you need to do is have a parking area by the vessel. I don't know why the CMS one collapsed all of a sudden. The thing is sustainability. There's no thinking through.
Talking about sustainability. Now, one of those from the economy that have, from government that have talked about Nigeria's economy so far, they've talked about a high level of foreign direct investment that has come into the country, a stable naira, stable and strong banks, and the stock exchange. These are all factors they've said are helping to boost Nigeria's economy.
Yeah, but Africa generally is rising. Everybody, they see Africa as the next investment destination. And if you have to make any kind of money, you have to come to Africa. So the world attention is focused on Africa, especially Nigeria. Now, because Nigeria has this, the population is there, the human capital is there, the wealth is there, and some other factors that help, and we have the appetite to consume. So most investors are coming into. But again, between 2008 and 2010 or 11, the foreign direct investment has really dropped this time around. It used to be 11 billion, or something, and then now it's about 7. But it's still better than South Africa. The foreign direct investment in Africa has really dropped. South Africa has dropped. Egypt has dropped. And for obvious reasons, what's happening in Egypt and all that, but Nigeria is still good to go in that sense. But what areas are they investing in? Telecoms, oil and gas, financial services.
What about electricity?
Now that the electricity, this thing that they're investing. Okay, but the cost is not even clear about electricity, how it's going to play out and all that. By the time they get, because it's still work in progress, as they go, they think from here to here, they see some loopholes or whatever thing they're not thinking through. And then, because what about the electricity is this? What is the role of government? Are they just going to hands off and leave the pricing system? Because I feel for consumer. The bill I get these days, I don't live in a mansion like you, Chamberlain.
No, you mean Mark.
Well, if you can call my cottage a mansion.
People should pay high.
It's fair.
Yeah, people will pay, because what happens is that sometimes in some countries, what happens is that those that live where Mark lives in the VI and Lekki, Mark should be paying more.
Help.
They should be paying more to compensate. Why those that live in where the masses live, we should be paying less, so that you can take from the people that can afford to make up for.
But that's the structure. That's like the structure they have. The NERC talks about it.
No, the structure is that those that live them pay less than we, the masses, we pay more.
Okay, because of the high density.
but there seems to be